You are now listening to About That Business, hosted by Rom Wills. Rom Wills is an entrepreneur and personal coach who has helped people reach their fullest potential personally and professionally. Take it away, Rom.
Welcome to Rom Wills About That Business. Save more than you spend. And that's a very important thing. Now, this is something I might have probably covered it in an earlier podcast on this channel. But it's just a very basic thing. And it's bigger than just something just for business. It's for life. It's just for life. So whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you just a 9-to-5 person, or whatever the case, if you're bringing in money, try to save more than you spend. Now, that's not going to be easy at first. That's not going to be easy at first, especially if you're somebody who's barely working or you making minimum wage. You gotta start off very small. Like, you ain't gonna be able to save a lot. If you able to save $1 off or something, that should be something. But still save. It might have to be something simple like one savings account I have is not in a bank. It's just change. I got a jar full of change. That's saving. Now, if you can do it at a bank, that's way better. But the whole point is get in the habit of saving. So if you minimum wage, right? And a lot of people who are minimum wage, they just spend it on basics, but they'll get extra stuff. One of the first things to do is try to think in terms of what you don't need to buy with that money. So try to think in terms, how can you get it cheaper? Try to, like, wherever you got to cut it off. You know what? You might not be able to hit those fancy restaurants or even like average restaurants all the time. You might not be able to hit it once a week, maybe once a month, just to, celebrate something. But, you might have to see what stores you can get the food better. You might have to look into saving how much you spend, looking at sales, clipping coupons, stuff like that. Right? So you don't have to spend as much money. But it's a very important thing. And it's very possible. Now, I'm saying do that if you just starting at minimum wage. So say if you're making a lot more money. You're making a whole lot more money. Right? How would you do that? How would you that's especially because a lot of people, actually, it's an interesting thing. You get people who making tons of money, but they broke all the time because they feel like they got to keep up with the Joneses. Like, instead of, if they making 6 figures, they feel like, hey, I got to get that Mercedes or something like that. Instead of just really being smart and say, oh, wait a minute, get that economy car or something like that, which a lot of rich people do. Yeah, you got some who got some fancy cars or something, but you got some really rich people. They just driving whatever. And if they do get that fancy car, they just at a place where they can just pay for it outright. But a lot of people, they'll save money there, with the food. And we all go through it because I've mentioned before, there have been times I used to make a lot of money, then not as much money. Now, during one of the periods, I actually went through a period like that where I had extra money, but certain circumstances, and all of a sudden I'm just, I had to get creative just to like get food in my stomach. But what I did was, even during that time, I would save a little bit of money. Now I'm at a point now where I have a lot of extra money to spend, so it's like, okay, where can I spend? Okay, I don't have to go to that fancy beef place all the time. Spend all this money. Let me get some food from the place. And I remember, and like I said, I had those times that was making money, times I wasn't. Like when I was making a lot of money, I had a tendency, like one of my things is I'll go in a bookstore or a place that got magazines and buy magazines like crazy. It could have one article in there I like and I'll buy the whole thing. That was one of the things I would have. Even now I got like a little bit extra magazines than I probably need to actually have. Read an article in there one time, won't touch it again. So those times I say, okay, I can't keep this habit up. So let me cut that off. So that gave me more money to save. I don't need to eat as fancy. More money to save. Do I really need to get those fly clothes? More money to save. All of a sudden you look at your savings accounts like you got a lot more money. Now, here's the beauty of it. You develop those habits, you develop discipline, because it takes the discipline to not spend the money. Because if you look at the economy now, a lot of it is to get you to spend money blindly and just on everything. Even if you go in stores, if you notice, they set up everything so it'd be like an impulse buy. Like I bought something from the store this morning, just some juice and stuff, and it was self checkout, and there was a peppermint patty right there, and I almost threw that in. That's how they do it. So it's like when you learn to save, you become disciplined. Now, this is a business channel. One of the things is, if you really want to advance or really want to develop a business, the overwhelming majority of businesses start through a person's savings. They don't start through bank loans. Black people talk about bank loans, but bank loans usually don't come into play until you've been in business a while, show you've been in business a while, and then you start off. There ain't a lot of like banks, they trying to get their money. They are slow to give somebody who hasn't shown that they're good at business any money. So when you getting started, you got to start with your savings and see what that savings, you can start a business, or you can put it into a home, or you can have it for emergency, whatever, but it gives you a little bit more power. So yeah, but get in that habit. Save more than you spend. Because you'll develop discipline along the way. You'll have money. You can address most issues that could pop up. So anyway, that's all I have for now. Let's go make that money.